Like most people, I was horrified about the terrorist attacks in Paris. It just reminded me so much of 9/11. I heard that ISIS was maybe talking about attacking the U.S. And Chicago being a major city of the U.S., I can't help but feel scared. So I guess what I'm wondering is, should I be genuinely concerned about being a victim of a terrorist attack?
Well, listen, I think it's a valid concern. We all were watching what happened in Paris, and I was horrified. I think like everyone was. I think we need to know a little bit more about ISIS, ISIL-Daesh. It's a terrorist, Islamist, militant terrorist group. It started in 2004 as a part of al-Qaeda, and then 2 years later rebranded as ISIS. It is heavily organized, it is heavily militarized, and so should it be a real concern? Yes, I do think it's a real concern. I think we should be vigilant, and I think we should be watchful. But the bottom line is, if you live your life afraid, you give in to the terrorists. The terrorists win because they want to strike fear and terror in your hearts. So I don't think you change, your values. I don't think you change your lives to the point where you're imprisoned by your fear. But just like you don't walk at 2 a.m. in a high crime neighborhood dripping in diamonds, you need to be careful around what I call soft targets, riding the trains, riding the bus, going to concert halls, going to sports events. You should be watchful.
Bakari, what's your take?
I agree with Sunny. I think she said something that was just very important and powerful. To answer your question directly, should you worry? I think the answer is yes. I think that worry is very genuine. I think many people in the American public feel that same worry. And for me to discount that, I think is disingenuous at best. However, we cannot let this undermine our American values. We cannot be consumed with Islamophobia. We cannot turn into xenophobes. And that's what we're starting to see in the dialogue. Yeah. The United States of America was founded as a refuge for those who were fleeing persecution throughout the world. And we cannot forget that. We cannot forget our compassion. We cannot forget our values. There's a huge discussion going on, Steve, about refugees coming into this country. And we cannot close our borders. We cannot shut them out because they are fleeing the same type of terror that we saw in Paris. And we have a system in place. In fact, over 780,000 refugees have come to this country since 9/11. Of that 780,000, only 2 were found to have any terrorist ties whatsoever, and they were arrested getting on a plane going back to join al-Qaeda. So the system works. The system works. And we have to have faith. And one thing that I love about this great country is that no matter whether or not you're black or white, you're from South Carolina, North Carolina, whether or not you're an immigrant or refugee, this is the land of opportunity. This is the land of hope. And we cannot shed those values because we're scared.
All right, Dr. Drew, what's your thoughts?
Steve, just a couple quick comments. I think we basically all agree on the panel here. I mean, yes, worry as a nation mostly. Worrying as individuals. Sonny says there's 60,000 fighters out there. Napoleon had only 100,000 men under his operation, and look what they were able to do. So there's a potential for great harm here. We need to worry as a nation. But as individuals, I would say, yes, worry, but not so much. It's just like hearing about a shark attack and nobody wants to go in the ocean. The probability of you being an object of a terror attack is really, at this point, remote. But again, worry, see something, say something. We don't want it to get so bad that we do have something to be concerned about. But right now, you're more likely to get hit crossing the street here on Wacker. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so just keep it in context. Our brains don't do that very well, so keep it in context.
Look, I think that everybody should be on point just as a day-to-day measure. And, hey, folks, welcome. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. Don't forget to click here to subscribe to my channel. That way you won't miss a single hot new video, some really good stuff. And then I want you to click here to see more clips from the show right now.